Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Royals by Rachel Hawkins. This was a book that I was so excited to finally get to read because ever since I heard about it I really wanted to read it. It's a YA contemporary romance kind of book, and it's about a girl whose sister is going to become a princess, and I am a sucker for stories like that, you know, about royalty and that kind of fantasy. I just think they're really fun. In this book, Daisy and her family live in Florida in the US, but her older sister Eleanor is getting married to the Prince of Scotland. So Eleanor and kind of the prince's family decide that Daisy needs to go and stay with them in the castle and everything in Scotland to kind of learn the etiquette of how she's supposed to behave now that her sister's going to be a royal. When she gets to Scotland, she meets the Prince Alexander, his younger brother called Seb, who is like a bit of a bad boy, a bit of a troublemaker. So Daisy's trying to deal with him and all of his friends as well. So it's a super fun book. I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 4 stars, and I just thought it was super fun. So there were a couple of like minor things that I didn't enjoy about it, and in particular the start of the book felt really slow to me. I was just waiting for her to end up going to Scotland and everything, and I feel like that didn't happen as quickly as I would have liked, but as soon as she got to Scotland, I was loving it. It was amazing and really enjoyable. Another thing that bothered me about it was just the dialogue. I didn't feel like the dialogue seemed natural and authentic all the time. Some of the lines I read, I was like, it just didn't sound right, if that makes sense. And there's a phrase that's used a lot in this book. It might not bother other people, but it's just something that when it comes up in books, I'm like, I don't like this phrase. It would be when the character is like glaring at someone, the phrase that's used instead is like, she cut her eyes at so and so, and I just hate that phrase, and it was used like multiple times throughout this book, so that bothered me, but that's super minor, it doesn't really matter. So the things I loved about this book definitely outweighed like those minor things. The first one was obviously the setting. It's set in Scotland, which is just awesome, and the fact that it's set in these big castles and palaces and stuff was really appealing to me. The thing probably that I loved the most about this book was Seb, so the younger prince, and all of his friends. They were just troublemakers, but in like a really entertaining kind of way. They were idiots, but they kind of reminded me of if you watch Gilmore Girls and you know Logan, who Rory meets in college. Logan is like a rich kid who just does like so many dumb things, and him and all his friends are just silly, and they like party really hard and get up to crazy shenanigans. Seb and his friends really reminded me of Logan and his friends from Gilmore Girls. So if you kind of like found that whole thing entertaining or you liked it, you'll probably like this book. Yeah, I just really liked Sebastian and all of his friends. There was also so much scandal and drama in this book that I just found really entertaining. Obviously, Daisy and her family are kind of like really getting judged by everyone. So not only kind of the whole world, because the media is like all over them, but also they're getting judged by the royal family. They're getting judged by the people of Scotland, who are a bit like not that keen that the prince is marrying an American girl. So there's just all these scandals and dramas that happen, and then there's all this stuff that happens like on the inside that the media don't hear about that's going on. So like all these little romances and personal dramas and things. It was just really entertaining, and the romance in this book I really enjoyed as well. That again was like something that was really slow to get going, but once it did get going I was really invested in it. Like every bit of romance that came up, I was living for it. It was awesome, and overall I thought the ending was perfect. So pretty much this book was super fun. Aside from a couple things that I found annoying and the fact that it was like a little bit slow to start, it was still totally worth reading. I'm probably going to end up, once I'm allowed to buy books again, I'm probably going to end up buying this one to have on my shelf, because I feel like it will just be a book that I want to reach for when I want a really fun, lighthearted read. There is a sequel coming out as well. I can't remember what it's called, but it's going to follow Flora, and it's going to follow her going to college, I think, but maybe a boarding school, I can't remember, with like another ordinary girl. So it's kind of like one of those companion novels. It's not necessarily a sequel, but it's going to have some of the same characters like as a continuation. So I'm looking forward to reading that when it comes out as well. I think it's coming out sometime this year. And yeah, if you've read this one, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the romance, and if you haven't read it but you're going to pick it up, let me know that as well. And also, if there's any phrases like cut her eyes that you really don't like, let me know those too, because I bet there's some that I feel that way about as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you with another video in a couple days. Bye.